And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Halftime Main Break Show, brought to you by Crowcast. Of course, the Melbourne Demons taking on our beloved Crows up there in Darwin tonight, and it's the Crows coming out on top so far. At halftime, the scores are 11 goals 6, 72 to Adelaide, 5 goals 3, 33. The Dees making a little bit of a run at it in the second quarter, but we really did kick on again in the back half of that quarter and regain the ascendancy to lead by 39 points at half time. We are going to be joined tonight by a very special guest live from the ground, our boundary rider. So this is a first for the Crowcast, so if it stuffs up, bad luck. But just quickly, some of the head-to-head stats before we get to him. We're looking at kicks and handballs. We're actually getting out-disposed by... Oh, no, we're not, sorry. Reading that wrong. Melbourne 179 to Adelaide 207. So we've got a lot more of the ball and kicking it a lot, 119 to 88 handballs. We're absolutely shellacking them in marks, 52 marks to 29, 40 tackles to 26, 25 hitouts to 20. The frees are relatively even, and our conversion is looking pretty good. Disposals per goal, 18 disposals. Our disposals per scoring shot, 12 to Melbourne's 22. It's just a trademark of this team that we're so good on the rebound. We're able to absorb a lot of pressure. I thought our back half was pretty strong tonight so far, and when we get the ball running, our transition work is just fantastic. We've only had 27 inside 50s to 30, and yet we're winning by 40 points, thereabouts. It's just incredible. Contested possessions, we evened that up a little bit. It was down a little bit for a while, but 79 to 81 Melbourne's way. We're killing them in uncontested ball, 127 to 95. Our disposal efficiency is really good, 74% to Melbourne 67. 3 contested marks each. It's not really that kind of night. It's quite a free-flowing game so far, and it'll be interesting to see actually if Goody tries to bottle it up a little bit more, because we certainly do have a fairly bruise-free kind of a game in many respects. There's a lot of open footy. So it'll be interesting to see whether Goodwin, he did change his tactics in that second quarter. I wonder if he'll try and bottle it up a little bit in the third. Rebound 50s, 24 to 14. That's where we're winning the game. We're really getting the ball off half back. Now, I'm just going to try and ring our intrepid boundary rider while we're here, so bear with me, and we'll see if we can get Donkey Magoo on the line.
Hi, mate. How you going?
Oh, Donkey, it's Phoenix from Crowcast. How you doing, mate?
Not too bad, Fiend. How you going?
Oh, good, mate. So how is it at the ground?
Oh, the atmosphere is electric. I would only describe it as a Crows home game away from home. It could just be where I'm from, but there's just a lot of tricolours floating through the crowd. It is pretty amazing.
Fantastic. And I've noticed on the telecast that Eddie's getting a massive cheer every time he actually gets a sniff of it. So obviously the whole family's there.
Oh, look, Eddie feels like a brother from up here, without a doubt. He's someone that makes a lot of our guys up here very proud. Plus, we like the really quick, fast ones that stop the goals from everywhere. So Eddie gets a lot of it. It looks like Tex is playing at about 8'7" tonight. Seems to be grabbing everything and just doing what he wants. So that's looking good too.
Yeah. So, I mean, we looked like we were all over him in the first quarter, and then they kind of got on top of us a little bit, or certainly slowed the game down in the first half of the second quarter. Was that the way you saw it at the ground?
Look, it just looked like it became more of a contest. Not necessarily that they were dominating us. It became more of a contest. They slipped a couple out the back and managed to spot a couple. And then the cheeky one from about 70 out from the goal square. It doesn't feel like they dominate us on the ground. Like, they don't feel like they own us. Looks like they just played a little bit harder. Got a couple of cheeky early ones, but it just feels like a crow's blanket being thrown over the game.
Yeah, it's certainly, once we it was interesting tactics by Goodwin early on. At times he had 4 running off the back of the square in the first quarter, which was quite bizarre, really. And it didn't seem to work for them, because it was like the reverse Crows blueprint in many ways, because we were just outnumbering them all the time.
Yeah, no, look, it doesn't look like Goodwin's beating us in the box like he was last time. We've definitely made a few reactions. I'm pretty sure I saw Tex roving around the back pocket at some point, getting some touches. So I think we're doing a bit of an all-round swarm, and I think that probably contributed to a couple of those sort of counter goals that we got against us. But it looks like we're just, trying to pressure in the contest. Our intensity looks like it's there, which I think was away from the first Melbourne game, but just no intensity. And we just look all over.
Yeah, it does look like we're pressing a lot harder. We seem to have compressed the ground as far as you can see from the telecast, and it doesn't look like, even though we're getting a lot of space when we get the ball, that's because we're really crowding up the contest. It looks like we're playing it almost in a third of the ground.
Yeah, that's right. And there hasn't been any of those sort of, and I'm not sure what the rating is of this show, but those WTF moments, where we just go, what are we doing? Like, where are we? Where are we disappeared to? But there's just been none of those tonight, but we've been all over the place. So,
yeah. Now, stats-wise, Lairdy obviously has got 21. We got Lynchy on 15. Is just amazing comeback from Lynch. D-Mac's got 10, and I thought his first quarter was sensational. That second goal that D-Mac kicked was absolute class and composure. Matt Crouch has got 16. Dougie's got 14. Brad Crouch has got 17, and Charlie's having a good game on 14.
Yeah, look, I haven't had the opportunity to have a look at the stats, just the feel of the game. I was lucky enough to have a quick chat with Tommy Lynch last night at a gig, and he looked raring and ready to go, and full of beans. So I was pretty confident that he was actually going to be able to back this up tonight. Felt like Brad Crouch was all over the game, all over tonight. So hopefully I don't bump that into Rabbit for him to counter that with me. And is Clayton Oliver laid out? Because I haven't seen him on the ground.
No, he's there. He's had 11 touches, 3 and 8. Hasn't really been all that effective. I reckon we're actually. I reckon we might have a soft tag on a couple of blokes actually, not just run with. I reckon. Yeah.
Look, and I haven't really seen the Rory Sloane at Bernie Vince match up, but I did notice that Rory hasn't had too much of a contest, but I haven't really noticed Bernie either. So I think they're just completely negating each other and taking themselves out. So but we seem to get stuff done.
Sloaney's had 4. What's Bernie had? Bernie's had 8. So Bernie's probably had the better of it, but might be in trouble with a little cheeky elbow to Dougie, or it wasn't a. Well, I mean, he's done 2 things. That head high on Dougie, but I don't know whether you guys saw it live, but he also gave Eddie a cheeky elbow to the face in the first quarter as well. Are we actually? I noticed Tex front up to him a couple of times. Are we giving Bernie any stick?
Yeah, look, again, at the gig I was at last night, they were all very chummy, which was sort of made me a little bit upset. But having a look out there tonight, that was all gone, and everyone was very focused. One of the things I've been disappointed about the Crows in games where we've dropped is you can just see that lack of focus. Yeah. That lack of intent in their eyes, and tonight that intent's there. Like, they're big, they're tough, they're angry, and you can feel it. You can feel it in every contest. So that's something I haven't seen a lot of times on telly. I know that's through telly on the ground, but definitely got it tonight.
Yeah. Now, Huey Greenwood, he's all right, is he? He got a bit of a knock towards the end there?
Yeah, look, he got up very high.
Yeah, he did.
He's an amazing-looking fella. Jesus, he's an amazing-looking fella. Like, he got up very high, and he looked a bit ginger. From what I could see, didn't look too bad. Just looked like a bit of a heavy knock and sort of not where it should have been. But Jesus, what a stud he is.
Oh, look, and that first quarter of Huey, I reckon he was second best at quarter time. He's had 9 touches, but 6 tackles, 7 contested possessions and 4 clearances, and he hasn't had a huge amount of it in the second quarter, but his first quarter was fantastic. Some of his little gives out of tight congestion is just second to none.
Look, Fiend, I'd say this is probably, a lot of hubris and probably a couple of tinnies, but he's our bond, like he's the guy that comes at the moment when we need him, does what he knows, he's composed, and the disposal's effective. Like, what more can you ask?
Yeah, he really does look like a Pendlebury to me. He's just smooth in tight. He's got very deft hands. He's not hurried. And he's probably better overhead than Pendlebury, to be honest with you. It could be anything. It could be anything.
For those that sort of get involved with basketball, the big thing is wingspan, and the fact that when he's his offensive stuff is fantastic, but the fact that you've got to read a 3 metre radius circle to get the ball past him because his arms are that long. That's massive.
Yeah, I think he's got a 8'2" wingspan or something like that, I heard someone say, which is probably why he gets all those nice little cheeky intercepts. Now, have you seen the Sauce v. Gawn contest? I reckon Sauce is doing all right.
I think he's holding his own. After watching a bit of the Melbourne-Carlton match last week, it looked to me like the Cruiser had his mark and that the Gawn was a little bit underdone, which you probably are after you have ripped the ham off the bone. We've all been there a couple of days after Boxing Day and all the ham's gone. We know what it's like. So I think he's going to be a bit ginger. Is it game over for Gawn? Is he never going to play again? That's probably a bit of a high probability, but he just doesn't have the same movement, which is what you expect after a 3-month layoff after ripping the ham off the bone.
Yeah, I would suggest it's his output's going to be down until he has another pre-season, I reckon. Now, anyone stinking it up for us at the moment? It doesn't look like it from the telly, but how have you found it at the ground? Anyone a bit quiet?
Nah, look, the board's favourite whipping boy, David McKay, with a couple of sausage rolls early on. Like, how good was that?
Oh, it was.
170 games worth of experience coming through. You can whip him when he's doing the wrong thing, but he's in the right space, right time, and finished like he needs to, and happy days. So he gets 2 gold stars from Donkey today. And,
I'll tell you what.
A lot in
That second goal that he kicked, I don't mind saying, and I probably got a better view of it from the telly up close than you did at the ground, but he feigned to be giving it off, and then at the last second he just cut through, and it was class and composure from D-Mac, and you don't often see that from David, and he's having a really good game.
No, you're 100% right. I didn't actually quite see the delicacies of the second goal so much, but the first goal he kicked was actually, it really stuck out to me, just the way that he steadied with a couple of steps and went, I'm doing this, and I'm doing it this way, and it came off perfectly. It was actually like you watched the guy that knew what he was doing. So.
Yeah. No, he just calmly laid it across his left, and it hit the centre of the little mark that the goal umpire uses as the centre of the goals. It bounced right on top of that. Now, Rory Atkins, probably the quietest. He's only had the 4 touches, no tackles, 4 uncontested possessions. He's probably the one that needs to pick his game up. I thought he started okay, but then he went right out of it.
Yeah, look, and maybe it's just a thing for me at the ground, but there's only so many people can get the possession, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And we're not necessarily failing, so and a lot of people in there and around it. So it's not like there's a vacuum that and his absence is noted, so everyone's there. So we haven't really noticed that Rory's missing in that sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And he's been there for the link up a couple of times. So, yeah, not too... although with the Rat, he seems to be in and out of games a lot and doesn't seem to be able to impose himself when he needs to.
I think a lot of it is just how the game's flowing, whether he's in or out of it. My overall impression is that our defence is playing really well. We look more organised than Melbourne, and Melbourne don't seem to be able to deal with our press up until half time at least. And we're really winning just with rebound off half back. Our rebound stat, as I mentioned before, was ridiculous. What was it again? 24-14 rebound 50s. That's where we're winning the game. It'll be very interesting to see what good he comes up with. Donkey, mate, it has been absolutely awesome to talk to you live at the ground. We're going to have to wind it up because I reckon the footy's just about to start again. But thanks so much for joining us. Everyone on the chat has really appreciated it. You still there, or have I lost you? Oh, well, that was pretty timely because I reckon I've lost him. All right, guys. Well, look, that was our halftime break. Thanks very much to Donkey Magoo. Thanks to everyone that joined us on the chat. Go Crows, and we'll see you tomorrow evening for the weekend wrap.